welcome to my video. Today I want to tell you about behaviorist approach. So let me introduce myself first. So my name is Kadek Fitrayani from 6F class, NIM 1190, from English Language Education in Ganesha University of Education. So today I will explain about three parts about behaviorist approach. The first is definition, characteristic, and example of the situation that use behaviorist approach. So let's go to the first, that is definition. Okay, the definition of behavioristic approach. So before we talk about behaviorist approach, we talk about behavior. What is behavior? Behavior is a reaction and movement made by someone in certain situation. In the term of behavior is mostly used for action that can be observed from the outside. So what is behaviorist approach? Behaviorist approach is a learning approach that focuses on how behavior are acquired, how behavior is obtained and observed. In behaviorist approach, the learning can be developed by building a relationship between the stimulus response and the behavior. That sometimes the behavior can be changed through the reinforcement or the stimulus that we give to the student. That is the definition of behaviorist approach. So let's move to characteristic. Okay, let's move to the characteristic. Behaviorist approach has several characteristics. For example, the student motivation in behaviorist approach is more influenced by external factors of an individual, like the situation of the student, like as I say before, is the reinforcement. We can give reinforcement also the key of behaviorist approach. The second is, if we finding the characteristic that explain individual behavior, we need to do behavior analysis. We need to do an observation of that behavior, so we can know what are the behavior that students have. So is it good or is it bad? Is it we need to change it? Is it we to reduce it or we need to increase it? And the third is behaviorist approach concerned to observational modeling with which means the students are watching and repeating a behavior. It means like we need to repeating an action, so the student also so we drilling an action, maybe an action, so the student will follow and repeating the behavior. Like for example, is we ask the student to keep the class clean before and after the class end. And the fourth characteristic is, in behaviorist approach, teacher controls both of children's behavior and the learning process. So it means that the teacher, the learning in behavior approach is a teacher centered. That is the characteristic of the behaviorist approach. Let's move to the example. Okay, we continue to the example of the situation. In learning process, the example of behaviorist approach is like I said before, like we drill the student to keep the class clean. Like before we start the class, let's check around you. If there any trash, please keep it or throw it away after keep it and throw it away after the class end. Like for example, like that. And in the that is in the introduction, the opening of the learning. For example, in the main activity in the learning, for example, we make any quizzes, make any quiz of riddle quiz. So we divided the student into 4 or 5 groups, and then we name it. We name the group. For example, the group A, B, C, D, and E. And then we write it on the whiteboard. We give the riddle to the students, and whose group can answer the question will get the symbol. Like we can make a stars, or maybe we can give a 1 point in the table that we make in the whiteboard, in the board, so we know how many they can answer. The group can answer the question. So that is the example of the behaviorist approach. Maybe we also can give them not only point. Maybe sometimes we can give a present, like maybe just a little present like a pen and etc. It can motivate them to increase their frequently to answer the question. That is the example. So that is the end of my explanation. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.